Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Neha, Ambassador of Change for GETI, that is Global Education and Training Institute, based in Lucknow, conceptualized and founded by Dr. Sunita Gandhi with the vision of disrupting education as we know it. And we also provide in service and pre service training for teachers so that they can also spearhead the disruptive education movement. Additionally, under the same banner, we also organize detox where we invite researchers, policymakers, educators from around the globe to discuss various best practices and what's working and what's not working in education. Today, I am very thrilled and excited to host Dr. Archana with us, who is joining live today from Kolkata. She is a longtime psychologist, as we just had a small discussion. She's been in this field around for more than 10 years, and she's now the founder of Carpe Diem EdPsych, an organization that is dealing with the mental health and counseling for almost all the stakeholders involved in the education field. It's a very wonderful initiative. Congratulations, ma'am. She says she's been joined by four of her other friends, other psychologist friends. So that's another feather in your cap, ma'am. Thank you. Today, ma'am will be talking to us about a very recent development in the education sector, which is screen time. We did not have this trouble, say, before 2 years, but we have it now. And it's something that needs to be discussed because even if a child, because screen time can be good or bad. I'm reading a book that's counting as screen time, but how much should I read it? How long should I be reading it? So she's going to be discussing and delving into these intimate aspects of screen time. How much is too much? Is it good? Is it bad? And thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. And the stage is yours, as I said.
Yeah, thank you so much, Neha. Thank you for this warm introduction and thank you for the opportunity. As rightly mentioned by Neha, I'm a counseling psychologist, and the Carpe Diem MedPsych Consultancy LLP is an initiative where we are here to serve from to mental health space and education sector. Uh, and I was like, we are having a little chit chat with Neha, and I came to know that she's also working in the field of well-being. So well-being, I think, is a area which is open for all, and it's a shared responsibilities for everyone. Now, as the very relevant issue which has come up, and concerning as well, is screen time. And my PhD was on around this topic, where I done my doctorate in the field or understanding about the usage of social media in developing psychological problem among adolescents and adults. So this was my thesis all about. And results were alarming, definitely. And over the 2 years, when everyone is getting affected by it, I thought it's a very good platform to talk about this, where I'll try and not just talk about the problem, because we all know that it's a problem,
It's a
but
problem.
how much of it is a problem, right? And how we can take care of ourselves. uh, so now, first of all, as rightly mentioned by Neha, was screen time. So what is screen time? Just watching anything and everything and all the time on screen is is it counted screen time? Like reading a book, maybe reading a journal. Again, duration matters a lot. That is again a very very important over here, that how long are you doing that, right? From last 2 years, as we know that we have been we got involved into the screen time so much that our work, entertainment, everything is on screen. So we really not able to help to get rid of it, because this is what it is. Next very important thing comes up over here is, like, as students are really getting children are really getting affected by it, because everything is on screen now. So is it very very important to control it, or it is important to balance it, right? And before that, I would say that as an adult, I need to first control or balance my screen time. So these are the three basic sections which I think I will be, covering. Screen time best practices. Know the benefits of limiting or eliminating screen time. And third is get strategies and ideas to limit or eliminate screen time. Right. Before getting into the discussion in detail, I will just make a request over here to ignore, because I am little under the weather, so little bit of this disturbance might happen in between. Now,
Absolutely okay,
screen
ma'am.
time.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Neha. Screen time best practices. I will like all the viewers who are viewing this, watching this via session, or in future will watch it, to answer this question in the comment box. According to you, how much screen time should children under 2 years be allowed? Right? It's a very basic question, because many a times, as you know, I have been in a it's been a decade I'm in this field. I get a lot of people telling me, coming and complaining that children don't listen. They are My child is always over the phone. He doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't want to eat without seeing or watching a video. So I think that's a very disturbing comment to, or a very disturbing remark, because he or she is just 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, any way younger than us. So how can that person control, or that child can control us so much, or that gadget can control that child so much, being us around? So I just want you to please answer according to your understanding and your experience. What's the time limit you think that a 2 year old, under 2 year old, should be allowed? Next question, which is not on screen, but I would request you to answer, is how much time a 3 to 4 year old, according to you, should be allowed to be on gadget? Right? It's a very alarming situation at home. And I can understand, everything is at home, we are working, there's a child who need attention all the time. It becomes difficult to be around with the child. So it is difficult, but it's our responsibility, end of the day. Now, some of the best practices which we can work on now, so that it becomes easier for us to deal with it when children are growing up, right? So, for infants, there should be no screen time at all. For toddlers, no more not more than 3 to 4 times per year, or it's better if it's never. Right? For a preschooler, by preschooler I mean 2.5 and above, only for education or physical activity purposes, which is because nowadays lessons and videos and are coming up online. Not more than 30 minutes per week, or never if possible. You read, you see, you watch, you understand, and you narrate it to the child, right? And families should work together and ensure that it is 1 to 2 hours per day. And families, I mean adults. Okay, so when adults are also involved and there's a child around you, you have to balance out your screen time as well. It cannot be just child will not do, but I am on the phone all the time, and what the poor child will do around me. So I think that is very, very important, a part over here. So this is a, because if you can control it now, if the exposure is less now, it will help us to control it in a later period. So the child is not dependent on the gadget or this online thing so much, that in the future also, the child can be more creative and understand how to live life without this gadget, without just watching few things. Now, why it is so important to limit your screen time, right? Why everyone, why school, why organizations, why professionals are always talking about to limit the screen time, right? First, it comes in the way of the child and limit the exploration. The child will not play, child will not do social interaction, child will not go out, child will limit himself or herself from reading, right? Being active, The lifestyle will become passive. They will not play with friends, they will not want to spend time with family, and they will always just do things around that gadget, right? And one very important thing is reading, uh, and writing. Okay, these are the skills which comes with practice. And a lot of, I hear from a lot of parents that children doesn't he does he, my child doesn't want to read, my child doesn't want to write. So try and find out why. Okay, reading is a very passive activity, because it's maybe some visuals are present, but it's a still activity where you have to, really get engrossed, read, understand, comprehend, and everything. Whereas playing a video game and watching a video is a very active kind of thing. It's graphics and things are moving around, so it will definitely catch your attention, and will definitely will uh, you know you will get hooked to it. So reading versus watching video games and things, there is no comparison. Okay, because they are two different activities that together. If the watching video and gadget activity is like 20, is like high, the duration of doing this activity is a high, reading will definitely go down. The duration will go down day by day. So there should be a balance, and child will only read, child attention concentration can only increase when your, visual, when your these graphical activities in terms of gadget activities will reduce. So please try and understand there is no comparison. And second, you have to decrease the reduction, you have to decrease the gadget activities to increase the reading and writing activity. Next, I think most of the parents and adults who are watching will agree to it, that children who are watching TV most of the time, who are on gadget most of the time, they will, they will complain, they will be obese, and they will have a problem of overweight, right? Because everything is passive and it's so easy. So I have a little one at home, and one pattern which we have seen in him is, uh, that whenever he we ask him to sit to study, what he'll say is, "Okay, I'm hungry. Let's not let's eat. I'm very hungry," because the habit which has developed, that while eating you can watch, right? And it's a very very wrong habit. So because it is not allowing your child to have a mindful eating, and it's very very bad. So please try to plan your child and your activities, because if I am having a phone or a TV on when I'm eating, the same thing is been modeled by the child. So it's coming from, top. So the way we are behaving, the child is just modeling us. So we have to be very very aware and concerned, because it's now you can control, because child is infant, toddler, or a preschooler. But as child will be a teenager, it will become a big problem, and then your behavioral pattern, everything, it will be very difficult to change at that time. So it's better to, work on these activities now. Now, ways to limit screen time. I'm sure, parents and adults who have children at home are working on it. They are definitely have some rules to limit the screen time. It's exhausting also. I'm not saying it's easy. During these 2 year time, it is difficult, uh, because uh, uh, because you are at home, you're all working, right? And people who are not working, it also difficult for them, because it gets very exhausted to always come up with something, so the child is engaged and occupied at home. So it is difficult, definitely it is. But again, this picture which you see on screen, I don't want, I really wish I don't see this happening in home, right? That everyone is on phone, and no, there is no communication. uh, so I think we need to work on it, and how, I'm sure you must have some policies, you're working on over it, and you're doing something around this. But I'll also request the viewers to maybe, mention it in the comment box, that what are the, how are you trying, how are you, what are the, basically strategies you're using to limit screen time at home for yourself and for your child. I think this will give insight to other viewers also. So it's good that if you can mention it in the comment box, about the strategies you're using to limit the screen time. Now, there are few activities which I think really helps is keep the TV computer out of sight. So by this I mean that TV computer should not be in the bedroom. Okay, there should be a, the place should be in living area. Child, whenever you want, you sit together, watch, have a good conversation. And when you are in bedroom, when you are in the dining room, when you are anywhere else, you are enjoying that, some other constructive activity. Put in rooms not used by children, as I just mentioned. Hide it with a blanket or sheet. It is, basically, when children see your laptop and when they see phone, they want to grab it, they want to be just around that, use it, throw tantrums. So it basically just hide it for them, to get rid of it. Replace screen time with fun and interactive activities. Now, there are ample of activities available on YouTube. Find out time. Again, you will say that, ma'am, you are also mentioning that, go on a gadget and learn it. Yes, because that's a silver lining of these online platforms and social media, right? You learn, so different things, and you're just at home. Half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe, like, learn two three activities according to the capacity of your child. Learn it, and then, spend your entire day doing those activities, right? Play outside. Now eventually things are opening up. Even if, if your precautionary measures and everything, go to terrace, spend time. Ask the child to run, do some PT exercises, do some, play some hide and seek, play other games, anything, but play outside. Turn on music and dance. Just turn on the music on Alexa, Google, your phone, anywhere, and just dance with your child. Do random steps, and it will help in the eye-hand coordination of the child. The gross motor skills will enhance. Bring kids into the kitchen and let them help you set the table, cook, and clean up. This is very, very important. Whether a child is a boy or a girl, allow them, ask them to help you, right? Okay, just bring your plate, your dishes, put there. Maybe help me with, putting the, keep the spoons on table. Ask water, just pass on bottles, anything and everything. So it will help them to engage. When you are drying clothes, ask them to fold with you, put it in the respective rooms. So all these activities really help the, will keep them engaged. And also do a lot of interaction with them. How do they feel about it? What activities they want to do? Even, if there is a half an hour time where they are watching some cartoon, Avenger, etc., talk to them. Make them do role play. Okay, they are Hulk and you are something. They become some Avenger, you become Spider-Man, whatever. And one magic which I have seen happening around me with children is story time. It really, really enhance their skills of imagination and creativity. One story I'll say, one story you will say. Simple and amazing outcomes you will see. While eating, if a child is throwing tantrum, narrate a story, and it will really help. Mythological stories of Hanuman, Ramayan, Christ, anything, Jesus Christ, any story, whatever you feel like, will, you have to be very creative. Your expressions, your movement should be such that child get interested into it. So I think these activities will really help, and you will see, and this is all tested, you know, and I'm suggesting, it's not that I have read it an article or I'm psychologist and I'm just telling you to do it. No, these things will really give you very good outcomes. Now, when screen time is allowed, okay, so make it a quality programming by choosing shows or computer games that are educational or get kids moving. Maybe, as I said, like Hanuman, story of Hanumana, right? So maybe a video of Hanumana will really help the creative. First, narrate the story, let them imagine, talk about the characteristic, talk about the, physical features of the character, talk about lot, include a lot of colors around, and then maybe allow them to watch that, maybe half an hour, 15 minutes, or whatever. It should be quality programming. They can't just watch someone playing PUBG. Okay, they can't just watch any random video game. They can't, because it will affect their language skills also, right? So you have to be very, very aware that what kind of game and video they are watching. Avoid watching while eating. It's my request to all the viewers and everyone. Please don't allow this to happen at your home. If you're doing it, stop it from today. Because it will really, really affect your child health, physical and mental health both. Track screen time with a simple scheduling sheet, so you know how much screen time child has and when they have reached their limit for the week. So this much time in a day, this much, maybe 2 hours in a week. Now you decide when you want to watch that, and sign a contract with them or something. So it will help them also to know, okay, I have this much time, and I'm allowed only to watch this much. So I think these things will really help you and your child to come together as a team, and solve this problem rather than always talk about the problem. What can we do instead? Like I said, turn on music instead of the TV. Just off TV, because they'll just sit and watch, so there is no outcome. At least they'll do some physical activity. Get moving time. As I said, some physical training with music, 1 2 3, some dance steps, something with the music, something with that, coordination with that. Play game, musical chair, 2 3 chairs together, and you come together, switch on music, off music, some activity around that. Pass the ball, throw ball, hide and seek, anything, just be more creative. Introduce constructive activities, as I mentioned. Use chart papers, use papers, ask them to just paint, maybe just hand print, leg print, thumb print, make something, color. Just allow them to doodle around, and just they, so that they can spend more and more time on some constructive activities, is rather than just sitting and watching a cartoon or a movie or something. Movie time is a good option, but when everyone is together, sitting together and watching it. Now again, I'll come back to the same thing, that it you know you also have to take care of your screen time. Because if you are while watching, over the phone, child is coming and telling you you're over the phone, you want to communicate something, you're over the phone, and they are playing but you're over the phone. I don't know what message are they getting, and how it will impact them. So this is something is very important, where you need to, as an adult, first of all, need to take care of your screen time. Next, and very important, is prepare family media plan. Before getting into, I just want to also mention one very important point over here is, um, I have seen on social media platforms that anything what we do, anything my child is doing, everything we click picture, shoot a video and post it, and then we again and again going to social media and seeing how many likes, what comment, how many likes, what comment, and sometimes involving the child also into it. So this is actually really affecting the validation. Okay, so getting validation from outside becomes so important, that we are somehow missing to feel content within. Right, I think it's little heavier to understand now. But see, whatever my child is doing for me. It's once in a while some achievement or something, it's good to post. But anything and everything, I'm just posting so to showcase that how talented my child is, or I'm doing some good work with my child, and people are commenting, giving likes, and etc. I think that is reducing the the feeling, the enjoyment, the fun element of that activity. Because it is for people, it is not for me, it is not something which I'm doing for myself. So I think that becomes very, very important over here. Now, next thing which I really want to focus on is preparing a family media plan, right? So family media plan, what does it looks like repetitively I'm talking about, a family media plan should be, it should not be just focused on how to limit screen time of my child but of everyone. So as I mentioned, a family media plan helps help everyone to balance their media usage also, right? Age wise, I have also mentioned in the beginning that how it should be controlled. Now, next is very important is whatever they are watching, be their mentor. Okay, just be with them when they are watching, discuss how did they feel. So be their media mentor, and it's not just limited to when they are 10 plus, but as they are growing, their exposure will be more of watching things, knowing things. So it's good that you are together, and I understand it's difficult with children who are growing up because they want their privacy and etc. uh, so one statement which really works like magic with them is, why don't you why it's so whenever you feel like you want to share something you watched, I am available and you can talk to me and watch. And when they come and they show you, see, I'm watching this is so funny, so this video is so funny. Just don't say, oh, it's so stupid of watching, you're watching this, you're just wasting your time. What is happening? You're limiting and them, and they'll not come and they'll not talk to you about it, because you have to be there, think at their level, that okay, it must be some exciting video which is they are feeling good about, it's fun for them, it's okay, let it be there. Don't pass any remarks which will switch them off and they'll not come to you. So I think that becomes very very important over here. And in a media plan, as I told, everyone has to limit their time. So meal time, there should be no gadget to be used, uh, not even TV. You can talk, some story time, something, what happens at my work, something which will excite them, or what they did for the entire day, what activity happened. So these kind of conversations should happen. Next is very important part becomes that when you have only you can't consider just meal time to be a quality time with the child. You have to spend that time, maybe 45 minutes, 1 hour with them, playing with them, actually playing with them. It can be anything. Usage of correct language in front of children, it also becomes a part of media plan, because the kind of media they are exposed to and the kind of language they're exposed to, they will again replicate and use it against you, right? And they will use in the conversation outside also. Their behavior pattern also need to be monitored very closely, that how they are behaving when they are not able to watch, or they have you have given them uh you know too much of time to watch this, but now you want to limit it. Their behavior pattern will be different, they will throw tantrums, they will be very agitated or aggressive. Then at that time you need to be very very calm and composed, and keep introducing little things, divert their mind, uh introduce some activities, some constructive painting, drawing, anything, just play with them. So I think family media plan, every family, every uh, parents should have this for themselves and for the children, so that's why it's a family media plan. So it's becomes very important for all of us to plan something like this. Now, I'll wrap up by saying this, that what's your next step? So I really want, I had given some samples, some examples for, how a media plan can be, what activities you can do. But again, every child is different. So you have to plan it accordingly. Every family dynamics are different. Some are nuclear, some are joint. So according to that, you have to plan it out. I really request and I want all the viewers to uh, maybe it was mentioned in the comment box, what is your next step in order to control or limit the screen time of your family, and introducing a media plan. It would be really nice to see those comments, because others who are not able to, they, I want to introduce a media plan but I'm not able to because I don't know what to do. It will give insight to many people, right? So we are, in a way, we are, it's a support group, we are helping each other, and this is how we grow. So I really want everyone to, whoever will watch or watching, to mention in the comment box about what is your next step in order to introducing a media plan. So thank you so much. It was a little about how you can limit and why it is important to limit the screen time. Our website is consultcarpedium.com, and you can follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So as I mentioned, mainly work in mental health space. So anytime anyone need any kind of help related to mental health, regarding your children, yourself, you can. We are happy to help you. So thank you so much. Thank you, Neha.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a very exciting and insightful session for me personally, because when you started speaking, I started writing down some questions for you. But during the course of the session, you answered almost all of them. So, for example, one question which I had was that we should not ignore the possibility that students have to go out also. They should be playing outdoors also. But you mentioned so many tips for them to have a life outside of their computers and laptops that I just scratched away that question. Anyway, we have a very interesting question in the chat by Mr. Farheen Mohammed. He's a very enthusiastic participator every time. So, one part of the question is very well answered. You answered that how much screen time is good for adults and children, which I think you mentioned very well. He also says, is screen time good and is nighttime okay for screen time? He just says night is okay. I think he means is nighttime okay for screen is for
Screen time.
being on the screen. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So if for children you're asking, it's a big no. Even for adult, it's a big no. But again, I understand because during night children go off to sleep and you get your time. So I think
Mhm.
you can use screen, but again limit. I'm not
Limit.
saying no, because no screen time is not a possibility now for anyone, right? So it's there. Now we have to limit it and we have to balance it out.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely, absolutely.
nighttime, yes, I can understand because children are off and everything. You want to use it, you want to watch something, for to feel little lighter, and you have something scheduled with your friends, anything. But again, limit it so that it's not affecting your physical health, it's not affecting your professional life. So that is something which you have to maintain a balance.
That's good. That's great. Ma'am, I had one question which I think is important to address. Since students are, we sort of have a online study going on even now, and even when we are in schools, there's some sort of involvement on the screen. So, what would be your advice to teachers and administrators and school senior management, to limit screen time or to help them or to act as mentors for them? To limit their screen time, or maybe just be educated about screen time, because I understand that they spend most of their day with teachers. So I think that there's a huge influence of teachers also over here in influencing and impacting their screen time, which I think is my third question. Yes, was my third question.
Yes, yes, definitely, Neha. Because screen the initially when it started, when things were going online from offline, it was definitely a challenge for everyone, right? Because there was one post on Facebook, I think few months back, I have seen that initially, before 2 3 years, mobiles, gadgets not allowed in school, right? But
Absolutely.
now
Yes.
mobiles and gadgets are school, right? So this is a big change, and teachers and students, for them, most of the time they are spending on screen. So definitely, I have seen, I've met so many teachers, I've interacted with them. So they are continuously talking to parents, they're continuously talking to children about how to limit your screen time, right?
Yeah.
So they are in from initially till now, because everything is now settled, and at education sector also, most of the projects also now they are trying to give it in a hard copy. Okay, you
Yes.
prepare a chart, you prepare this, and then you just show it. instead of doing everything, on slides or docs or something. You shoot and you compile and you send us, okay, instead of doing everything online. So when you're acting, someone is shooting for you, so it's not a screen time, right? You're
Absolutely.
doing some activity. So I think these little things will really have changed. I'll not say that things have not changed. From initial to now, things have really changed. Teachers are also giving the kind of work which is not including only screen time, but it's limiting to hard copies, limiting to offline activities and everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's a very good point. Also, I think whenever there's such a huge intervention in our lives, there's obviously going to be some sort of policy and rules around it. So, what do you think could be some rules that maybe the government could set, or we as administrators of schools can set? Something that governs this very huge and important aspect of almost everyone's life now, especially students. So, what can be some policies around screen time, maybe?
I think this, I would say, Neha, because government, if the government also regulates or come up with some policy, how much we all are able to follow it, right? Until
Absolutely.
unless I know that it is affecting me, the day I know this is affecting me, I'll take measures and I will start working on it. So it is not that external, but it is more internal, right?
Okay.
The
Yes.
For COVID also, I just a comparative example. When there was an outbreak, there were so many guidelines came up, and there was a lot of people who were saying no, nothing will happen. Some were taking precautionary options, right? But the moment they realized no, it is affecting most of the people, it's affecting globally,
Yes.
everyone started following it, right?
Absolutely.
So I think it is more internal. When you see that, okay, this is, when in anything is addiction or anything is affecting your life, when it is affecting your physical health, your mental health, and your professional life, when these are affected, it means this activity you need to work on, and or you need a professional help for this. So as I said, I'm no screen time is not possible. You have to limit, you have to balance, and everyone has to get involved into it. Father is sitting with a phone when he's eating and instructing a child not to use phone is not an ideal situation at all, because they are modeling you, right? So I think this is more very personal, and every family dynamics are different, as I mentioned. So the family media plan should, the family should work together and come up with the plan.
Absolutely. I think a family media plan is just something we need to follow instead of a policy because whatever happens when we are too much on the screen is going to take place, say, 1 or maybe 2 years down the line. I'm watching right now, my eyesight is going to, be weak after 2 years. That's when I
Correct.
will take some precautions. So instead, why not? I follow a family media plan right now so that I can maybe
Correct.
avert something that's going to happen to my health or, depression, bad relationships, etc. Something like that.
Correct.
So a family media plan looks very apt right now instead of government hanging a dagger over our head to do this and to do that. So yeah, that's a
Correct,
very
correct. And why do we really need always such big policies to come in? Because I know what will affect my health and how it will affect me. So it's better that I
you okay?
sorry. So it's better that we family come together, because I know what is my child's capacity, I know what is my child's limitation, what activity will really work with my child. And maybe 2 hours on a Saturday together watching a movie is a better plan than he is watching something the entire week. So every family has its own way of doing it.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a very wonderful submission, ma'am. Would you like to say something else before we, with your permission, wrap this wonderful session? Would you like to add some points for maybe teachers or parents, educators, and also for children in
Correct.
specifically?
Correct. I think, there are two terms which I always talk to parents about, and, students also: real and real. Okay.
Okay.
What you see in real cannot be real. Okay. Because that is scripted. Your real life is not scripted. right? If you're seeing someone in real, doing certain activities, watching whole day, but again scoring good also, that is,
Mhm.
they're not showing you what is going behind it. Okay, if
Yes.
I want to copy that completely in my real life, it will not help me. So everyone, we can't just blame child or even a teenager that always on phone. Why
Mhm.
is he on phone all the time? Because maybe I'm failing as a parent or an adult to engage him or her in different activities. Maybe my conversation is not up to the level that he is feeling motivated or encouraged to talk to me. If I'm always judging the child, I'm always judging each other, that okay, what kind of friends do you have, don't talk about your stupid friends, they are doing this activity, don't go and meet them. If I am passing these kind of remarks, I really don't know if the child will come and talk to me. If I am not
Absolutely.
talking about my work life, what happened, what not happened, my challenges, then why child will come and talk to me about it,
That's
right?
a
So
very
I
good
think
point. Good point.
I think it
Yes.
should be, everyone should be together in this. Like all stakeholders should come together and talk, not judge. Don't, come to any conclusion. I think talk about it, what works best, and how it should be, maybe to resolve this entire situation.
That's a very good point you raise, ma'am, because labeling someone is very easy, but sitting down and talking with them about their issues is actually a very exhausting process. But for students, we will have to engage in that process, however exhausting it might sound, because
Correct.
they are the future. Their future lies in our hands right now. So that's a very good point you raised. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. Despite your ill health, I hope you get well very soon. And thank you
Thank you
so
so
much
much.
for educating us about screen time and clearing some very important concepts and uh, bidding us farewell with a very exhaustive family media plan, which I think was the highlight of your session today. That's very wonderful and the best one of the best takeaways from your session today. Thank you so
Thank you
much for
so
joining.
much, Neha.
See you
Thank you so
around.
much, Neha. Thank you so much, Neha, and a very, very enthusiastic. I would say very, very good. And the host, I have done a lot of programs, but such a involved host who is listening, making notes, asking question is definitely really, really like the way you have hosted the program.
One
So
more
thank you.
thing. Our audience is very excited right now. They're saying thank you, very informative session, very interesting session, very informative session. And we have comments from YouTube as well. So I think this was a very wonderful session where the audience is also very excited for some reason. It's a very interesting topic. I think everyone has to be excited when they are
Definitely.
seeing potential solutions at the end of the tunnel. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.